Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to honor the life and legacy of Irresistible Rich Cranmore, who we lost in the second week of July 2024. This is a brief podcast sharing some stories and memories of Rich from some of the people whose lives he touched, including my own. I'll be telling my story at the end of the podcast. So let's get started. Here are some great memories of Rich.
What can I say about my brother Rich? He had the best sense of humor. I mean, it could be crass at times, but that's what made Rich Rich, you know. He marched to his own beat. Speaking of beats, he would send a lot of us underground music and videos. Stuff that you couldn't even buy in stores. You couldn't even find it, but Rich had it, you know. And he would make sure that most of us had it too. It's just so many stories I could share. A few times that he came to Minneapolis, he stayed with me. And we would sit up like we were in college just talking about Prince and, you know, listening to his music. Just picking songs apart like we all do when it comes to Prince. Rich was also a gentle giant too, you know. He flirted so much with a lot of the ladies, but he never told me about anybody in particular. He was also pretty private when it came to his family. He talked about his mom a lot and how much he missed her. And then, you know, he'd be right back into planning his next Paisley trip or giveaway or contest or something. Rich was truly my brother from another mother. I'm just really gonna miss him, you know.
Hi everyone, it's Claire Roundtree, just sharing a few thoughts about our friend Rich Cranmore. You know, Rich was somebody who really did have a heart of gold. Sometimes that beautiful heart was covered with a very bawdy sense of humor. He was always telling jokes. He shared his sense of humor so liberally. That's not the only thing he shared. Rich really cared about people. He checked in with me often. He loved volunteering, loved cooking meals for people. It made him so happy. And as some of you may know, Rich certainly was no stranger to struggles in life, but he was able to make it on the other side of many of those struggles. And I really believe that's such a part of who he was. He's somebody that persevered. He's somebody that really, through difficult circumstances, kept his optimism. And he was a very, very generous spirit. Rich always let me know how he felt about me. My music collection is just beyond measure, thanks to many, many years of Rich sharing music with me. Rich was somebody who happily shared what he had, and he loved sharing his knowledge of Prince and all things purple. And while he was indeed known as Irresistible Rich, to me, he's always going to be irreplaceable Rich. And I know he's going to live on in our hearts forever. Love you, buddy.
Hi, this is Marilyn McNair from Stone Mountain, Georgia. And I just want to say a couple of words about our friend Rich Cranmore, Irresistible Rich. He was one of the first people who befriended me via Facebook when Prince passed away. And he was always a constant and always there, showing his humanity and his compassion for his community. And I don't just mean the purple community, but the people that he dealt with day to day who helped him, and he helped them in return by serving food, making delicious food for them, delivering it through his church. He was a really good guy. I got to meet him when the Revolution played Atlanta in 2018, and it was kind of funny just seeing him kind of in real life all of a sudden. It was great. And lastly, when I pick up my mail every day, I think of Rich because he made me a beautiful purple, Prince purple mailbox with a gold symbol, and it is in front of my house and has been for the last 6 or 7 years. So here's to you, Rich.
I have one memory that was submitted via text by my friend Ray Hansen from Bayfield, Wisconsin. I'd like to go ahead and share that with you all now. And here is what Ray writes. Rich is one of the true funk soldiers. It won't be the same not seeing him posting about Prince or his hashtag Team Laughter posts. You could always recognize his posts as he would be the first to like his own posts. One of the only people I know who does that. It's clear to see that everyone in the Prince community knew him or knew of him. When Rich passed, it wasn't just fans of Prince to share their condolences. Even close friends and associates of Prince shared their condolences. He truly cared about fans in the Prince community and made the time to reach out and make friends and contacts. Rich always made sure to message me when there was purple news going on or a newly circulating rare track. There was one time we actually made copies of our hard drives and traded. We wanted to make sure we both had what the other had. Rich had a huge caring heart. He took care of his friends in the Prince community, and from his post you could see that he also took care of people in his own local community. He would prepare dinners for those in need and participated in activities that supported good causes. I will miss his positive and caring attitude. He lived and breathed in the spirit of love for one another, and it made him a better person. His memory will be with me forever. Rest peacefully, Irresistible Rich. We've come to the part of the podcast where it's my turn to talk a little bit about Rich and the memories that I'll always hold close to me and cherish. I never had the pleasure of meeting Rich in person, unfortunately, but we spoke briefly on the phone in the early 2010s, and he was always a very passionate Prince fan, very into the music, very willing to share his enthusiasm and knowledge of Prince's life and work. And I'll always remember our phone conversations for that reason. And online, as other people have said, he would always share links to the latest Prince goodies circulating around on the internet. I could always count on Rich to give me download links to whatever the new hot thing was that somebody had just dropped on the net. And I'll always treasure those memories as well. They were very exciting. As we all know, Prince himself had the tendency to drop things on us out of the blue. And Rich was kind of the same way with whatever hit the internet. He would just drop you a link or whatever out of the blue, and it was very, very nice of him to do that. So I will always carry that memory with me as well. The last thing I want to say is the the items that he made, that he requested, modest prices for, acceptable prices for, just enough money for, to ensure that the item got made, properly and of substantial quality. And the main items that I'm thinking of were, in his later years, it was the Prince calendars, and I got several of those from Rich, and they were always carefully selected photos that were really vibrant and really striking of Prince, and he always took such painstaking care to put those calendars together. So, yeah, those are my memories of Rich, and I'm going to miss him a lot. I wish I had gotten the chance to know him better than I knew him, but hearing stories from his friends and also from those that spoke at his live stream service on Facebook, he was a really special guy, meant a lot to a lot of people, and it's my honor to do this small gesture of respect with this podcast to honor the life and legacy of a really diehard Prince supporter. And Rich, we're gonna miss you, buddy. We're gonna miss your sense of humor, your bawdiness, your flirting with the ladies. We're gonna miss all that. And we're so lucky to have known you, and we're so lucky that you blessed our lives with your presence. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for listening on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And until next time, this is Chris Johnson. Peace and be wild, everybody.